These towns don't look dangerous at first, but the numbers tell a very different story. In this video, we're traveling through small towns across America where everyday life is shaped by a pattern that keeps repeating. Assaults, theft, and violence that often isn't random. It's personal, domestic, and fueled by pressure. Some of these places have deep history and strong local pride, but behind the festivals and main streets, the risk is impossible to ignore. And we're starting in eastern Oklahoma, in a town known for Cherokee roots and strawberry pride, yet struggling with a violent reality. Many residents are of Cherokee descent, and Stilwell is historically connected to the Trail of Tears, the forced relocation of the Cherokee people in the 19th century. The town is also widely known as the strawberry capital of the world, and it hosts an annual festival that highlights local agriculture and local identity. That public image coexists with crime figures that point to serious challenges. In 2024, Stilwell recorded 22 violent crime cases, and 19 of those were classified as aggravated assaults. For a town of this size, that level places its violent crime rate above the national average. Reported violence is rarely random, with many cases linked to personal disputes or domestic conflicts. Property crime is more common. In the same year, 130 property crime cases were reported, including 104 incidents of simple theft. From Oklahoma, we move into West Texas, where the landscape can appear calm, even as the numbers indicate a higher level of risk. Snyder is a small town closely tied to its identity as an oil community. At first glance, it can look quiet and unremarkable, but local crime data presents a more serious picture. The rate of violent crime in Snyder is recorded as significantly higher than the national average. In 2024, the most common violent offense was aggravated assault, with 89 cases reported over the year. Property crime is also present at notable levels, with simple theft as the most frequently reported category, totaling 121 cases. Beyond crime, Snyder has a visible historical presence through the Scurry County Museum, which documents the harsher realities of West Texas life. Many researchers point to ongoing social pressure, persistent poverty, and limited access to mental health services as factors associated with these crime patterns rather than large gang activity. Remaining in Texas, we travel south into the Rio Grande Valley, where daily life is shaped by economic pressure and where conflict often follows those conditions. Donna sits in the Rio Grande Valley, only minutes from the Mexican border. Many families live close together, work in agriculture or other low-wage jobs, and operate under constant financial strain that affects day-to-day stability. Within that setting, crime figures show a consistent pattern. In 2024, Donna recorded 295 violent crimes, including 265 aggravated assaults. These incidents are rarely random and are commonly linked to personal conflicts, domestic disputes, or emotional flare-ups. Property crime is also high. The city reported 570 cases of simple theft, making it the most frequently recorded offense in Donna. Leaving South Texas, we move to North Carolina, where a former mill town continues to deal with the effects of industrial decline. Eden is a small town that was once driven by textile manufacturing. Often called the Land of Two Rivers, it sits where the Dan River meets the Smith River, in a landscape of green surroundings that contrasts with its harder economic history. When the textile industry collapsed, employment opportunities narrowed, the population aged, and long-term social strain increased. That strain is reflected in reported crime figures. In 2024, Eden recorded 63 violent crimes, including 53 aggravated assaults. For a town of roughly 15,000 people, this places Eden's violent crime rate above the national average. The violence is rarely random and is more often tied to personal disputes, domestic arguments, or long-running conflicts. Property crime is more common. Out of 391 total reports, 317 were cases of simple theft. The most frequent targets include bicycles, household items, and the contents of vehicles. From Eden's river setting, we return to Texas, where a town known for music and local history shows a different pattern in its crime data. Navasota is known as the blues capital of Texas and is the hometown of the musician Mance Lipscomb. That musical identity remains visible through murals and through local festivals tied to the town's cultural reputation. Crime figures, however, point to ongoing problems. Navasota's violent crime rate is recorded well above the national average, with 56 aggravated assault cases reported in a single year, making it the most common violent offense. These incidents are typically linked to personal conflicts, domestic violence, or alcohol-related situations rather than random attacks. Property crime is also led by simple theft, with 119 reported cases, well above the totals for burglary or vehicle theft. Next, we move into Louisiana, where an old parish seat and a welcoming civic identity sit alongside unusually high crime numbers. Marksville is the seat of Avoyelles Parish and has a history dating to around 1794, when it began as a rural trading center founded by a merchant from Venice. According to the 2024 FBI Uniform Crime Report, Marksville recorded 88 violent crimes, producing a violent crime rate of about 1,848 per 100,000 residents, far above the national average. Property crime is also high, with 171 cases, a rate of roughly 3,591 per 100,000 residents, including 139 incidents of simple theft. Despite those figures, Marksville is known for the motto, "Where everybody is somebody." The town is also home to Paragon Casino Resort, described as the first land-based casino in Louisiana, and it is operated by the Tunica Biloxi tribe. From Louisiana, we move west into Arizona, where a mining town setting sits alongside crime figures that appear especially high when measured per capita. Miami is a small town in Gila County located in a historic silver and copper mining region. Its older storefronts and winding roads through the hills reinforce a strong mining town atmosphere that still defines much of the town's appearance. Recent statistics indicate that Miami often records a high violent crime rate, particularly on a per capita basis. According to FBIU CR 2022 data, the town reported 24 violent crimes, and 20 of those were classified as aggravated assaults. That produces a violent crime rate of around 1,558 per 100,000 residents, far above the national average. Miami's figures also tend to fluctuate from year to year, reflecting how small communities can be highly sensitive to local social and economic shifts. Historically, theft and burglary have increased during periods when mining activity slows. Leaving Arizona's Copper Hills, we enter New Mexico, where strong cultural identity exists alongside long-running public safety problems. Española is a small city associated with a classic Southwest landscape, including adobe buildings, distant mountains, and a visible Pueblo and Hispanic cultural presence expressed through music, food, and local festivals. The city is often described as a meeting point of multiple cultures within New Mexico. Behind its cultural heritage, Española has long carried a serious crime reputation. Historically, the city has been known for a violent crime rate far above the national average. At its peak, violent crime exceeded 2,900 cases per 100,000 residents, making it one of the most dangerous small cities in the state. The most common forms of violence are physical assault and robbery, often connected to personal conflicts and substance abuse. The area around Española has also been widely known as a center of narcotics and overdose crises, leading the state government to declare multiple public health and safety emergencies over the years. From New Mexico, we return to Arizona, where one town is known simultaneously for recreational tourism and a concentration of incarceration facilities. Eloy is often described through two distinct identities. It is widely recognized as the home of Skydive Arizona, one of the largest and busiest skydiving centers in the world, drawing athletes and visitors. At the same time, Eloy has a high concentration of federal prisons and detention facilities, a reality that strongly shapes local social conditions. That context is reflected in local crime figures. In 2024, Eloy recorded 95 violent crimes, including 81 aggravated assaults, the dominant category, which places the violent crime rate above the national average. Much of the reported violence is described as local and personal, often tied to domestic conflicts and social pressure rather than random incidents. Property crime was also reported at notable levels. The town recorded 192 property crime cases, including 126 incidents of simple theft, the most common offense. We move to Michigan and arrive in Hamtramck, a small city defined by unusually high density and a level of cultural diversity that has become central to its identity. Hamtramck is often described as 2 square miles of the world. It is known for its extraordinary mix of communities and is also described as the only city in the United States with a Muslim majority population. Dozens of languages are spoken in daily life. Once shaped primarily by auto factory workers and Polish immigrants, the city has since developed a broader mix of ethnicities and religions that continues to define it. Within that environment, recent crime figures point to serious challenges for a small city. According to FBIU-CR 2024 data, Hamtramck recorded 132 violent crimes, resulting in a violent crime rate of about 488.6 per 100,000 residents. Of those violent crimes, 104 were aggravated assaults, indicating that physical conflict accounts for most reported violence. Robbery accounted for 23 cases and rape for 5 cases. Property crime is also substantial. Out of 432 property crime cases, 230 were simple theft and 146 were vehicle theft, reflecting the pressures that can emerge in a small, densely populated urban setting. From Michigan, we head east to Pennsylvania and reach Darby, a small town located only minutes from Philadelphia. Despite that proximity, it can feel like a separate world. Streets are narrow, housing is tightly packed, and social familiarity is high, with residents often knowing one another or knowing each other's reputations. From the outside, Darby can look like a typical working-class town, but local conditions reflect a heavier level of strain. Crime data reinforces that pattern. In 2024, Darby recorded 88 violent crimes, including 68 aggravated assaults. That total produces a violent crime rate of around 831 per 100,000 residents, well above the national average. Property crime is also high, with 279 reported cases. Those include 163 incidents of simple theft, as well as an increase in vehicle theft. Cars left parked overnight can become quick, quiet targets. Historically, Darby is one of Pennsylvania's oldest settlements, founded by Quakers known for valuing peace. The contrast with present-day conflict has become part of the town's modern reputation. Leaving Darby, we return to Michigan and arrive in Muskegon Heights, where an industrial legacy has been followed by a long period of decline and sustained social pressure. Located along the western shore of Lake Michigan, the city has a history connected to both industry and lumber. Over decades, it has experienced major population loss. Today, about 9,800 residents remain, and many live under difficult economic conditions. Recent crime figures show a sharp contrast with the quieter image people often associate with smaller cities. Based on FBI Uniform Crime Report calculations, Muskegon Heights has a violent crime rate of approximately 1,709.6 per 100,000 residents, far above the national average. In those reports, aggravated assaults dominate violent crime, with 139 cases recorded. Property crime is also high, including 238 larceny theft cases reported as simple theft. From Michigan, we move south into Arkansas, where Pine Bluff has developed a reputation that has been difficult to shake. Pine Bluff is a small city in the Arkansas Delta with a long history connected to fertile agricultural land, alongside serious social challenges in the present day. Its local economy was once shaped by industry and regional activity, but current crime figures point to a far more strained environment. According to FBIU CR 2024 data, Pine Bluff recorded 609 violent crimes, producing a violent crime rate of about 1,580 per 100,000 residents, more than 4 times the national average. The majority of those incidents were aggravated assaults, with 538 cases reported. In addition, the city recorded 37 robberies and 20 rapes. Property crime totals are also high. Out of 1,761 reported property crimes, 1,144 were simple thefts, making larceny the most common property offense in Pine Bluff. From Pine Bluff, we shift to Louisiana and arrive in Bogalusa, another community where crime data reflects sustained social strain. Bogalusa is often described as more isolated and facing harsher conditions, and the numbers reported for 2024 support that picture. In 2024, Bogalusa recorded 116 violent crimes, including 103 aggravated assaults. That total produces a violent crime rate of around 1,131 per 100,000 residents, far above the national average for a town of its size. The violence is rarely random and is commonly linked to personal conflicts, long-standing disputes, and a socially strained environment. Property crime is also high. Bogalusa reported 434 property crimes, including 310 incidents of simple theft. The most frequent targets include homes, yards, and vehicles. The town is also often cited as facing some of the heaviest economic and social challenges in Louisiana, including a high poverty rate. East. Finally, we return to the Mississippi River and reach East St. Louis, a city positioned directly across from St. Louis, Missouri. Its location once made it a strategic industrial and railroad hub in the Midwest. During its mid-20th century peak, the city was prosperous and densely active. Remnants of that period remain visible in older buildings and infrastructure, but more recent public safety figures reflect ongoing problems. According to recent reports, East St. Louis has a violent crime rate of around 1,065 cases per 100,000 residents, well above the national average, with aggravated assault accounting for most of the hundreds of violent incidents. Rates of theft, robbery, and homicide are also high compared with many other small cities in the state. East St. Louis is often viewed as one of the highest-risk cities in the Metro East region. Yet it is also associated with ongoing revitalization efforts aimed at attracting investment, improving housing, and rebuilding a community long affected by industrial decline.